Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss about the need for political institutions. As we already know, the political institutions are very necessary for the successfulness of the democracy. As we already know, we have given you an introduction about the political institutions. So today we are going to give an definition for the political institutions. As we already know, the government exercises various duties like ensuring security to the citizens, providing facilities for the education and health to all citizens, and the government also collect taxes and they spend the collected money on different purposes like administration, defenses and development programs, and government also providing various welfare facilities for the people. So to exercise all these programs and activities, the government needs some kinds of arrangements in a democratic country. These kinds of arrangements are called institutions. So institutions are a lot in a democratic country. Prime Minister and the cabinet of ministers is an institution, and the parliament is also an institution. Legislative assembly is also an institution. So there are various examples for these institutions. In a democratic country, if the institutions are perform very well, the democracy of the country will be very successful. So let us move into some examples. First one, Prime Minister. What is the duty of Prime Minister and his cabinet of ministers? The duty of the Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers to take all kinds of policy decisions. So they will take decision. And at the same time, what is the duty of civil servants or the IAS officers who are doing several activities in the realm of the administration? What is their duty? It is their duty to implement the minister's decision. If the ministers taken a decision to give 27% of the total government post for the socially and educationally backward people, so it is the duty of civil servants to give such a share for that community. So to implement the decision of ministers. And another institution is Supreme Court. Supreme Court will actually exercise as a mediator during the time of disputes between the governments and citizens, or between central government and state government. So from these three examples, I hope you have clearly understood the definition of political institution and the major examples for institutions. And it is important to keep in mind that it is not easy to work with institutions. It is very difficult. If we work in an institution, we need to hold meetings, to form committees, and to do a lot of daily routines. And if we want to take a decision, it will take a long time, and we have to move through different procedures and complications, and at last we can take the final decision. So sometimes we may think that if a single person control over all these kinds of activities, it will be very easy for taking a final decision. But it is a great mistake. Even though it will take a long time to take a final decision in a democracy, the decision taken by the democratic country will be very useful and it will also be very fruitful. At the same time, if a single person control over all these kinds of activities and he takes the decision himself, sometimes he may mistaken in his decision. So the institutions like a prime minister and his cabinet of ministers, parliament and the judicial, already we have studied about these three institutions: legislative, executive and judicial. If these three agencies or if these three institutions perform well, we can make the democracy very successful in our country. I hope you have understood the concept very well. Thank you. Have a nice day.